I'm in York, one of the most haunted cities in the UK. It must be day 4 of my road trip to hell. So the first stop on my adventure in York is of course going to be Merlin Entertainment's The York Dungeon. I'm going to go in and find out exactly what they have in store for me. Let's go. So I just completed the York Dungeon and survived. It was really good. Like with all the dungeons, they take the history of the city that they're in. So this one featured stories of the Vikings invading. They had a lot of stories from around the area as well. They kind of had a Halloween story, which is like a Burke and Hare body snatchers type of story, which is really interesting. I love the beginning scene, which is to do with looting a church, and King Henry was approaching. A really great Halloween themed story as well was about burning a witch, and of course we had the ever-present judge who likes to judge and sentence all of the people. Overall, a really great Halloween attraction, and I loved it. Now, when I first arrived in York, this was my reaction. And then when I visited the surgery scene, this was also my reaction. So that was pretty good. There was also the judges scene where I was accused of highway robbery and I looked like this. Great experience, great for Halloween. Long queues though, so I do recommend you get yourself one of those fast track tickets. I now have a message from a jester trying to bring more people to visit the dungeons.
Hello, people. Do not come here, as we are quite busy enough without your custom. Thank you.
York is known for its many cobbled streets, and they have a lot of ghost walks to choose from. I'm not going to be doing any of those today, but the next thing we will be checking out is something that you might find amazing. I'm on the outskirts of York for Hallowscream at York Maze. Now what I found out is that the story is back in 1873 there was this travelling circus that set up camp on a farmer's land after winning the ability to stay there in a card game. However, when the farmer found out that he had been swindled, he murdered them all. Now, at Halloween, they raise up and try and haunt anyone that comes. So I'm going to go through all the mazes. There's 5 here. I'm going to give you the review. Let's find out what happens. So it looks like the first one we're going to go into is Barnageddon. Which would be like, let's go and find out what it is. So Barnageddon, it was really interesting. You had to go through. It was like a barn, and lots of like crazy things are going through. A little bit industrial, lots of boxes and things to go through. What was interesting was there was one person in that actually got lost and didn't know where to go, and there was actually a crawl space that they had to go through, and they didn't know about it. So we were going through, and then at the end there was a guy chasing us with a chainsaw. So that's interesting. Now I'm going to go in and do reincarnation. So I managed to survive reincarnation. It was a clown fun house. It was really good. They had it was like lots of gravity effects because the rooms were kind of like tilted, but the gravity was all wrong, and you were just like, well, what am I going? You just don't know. They had like optical illusions as well, where the room seemed to you were getting smaller or bigger depending on what part of the room you were in. They had one of those spinning wheel things where you just get disorientated, and then it turned into like a curtains maze, and you just had to find your way through. Really interesting, really fun. And there was one bit where you're going through the curtains maze, you're looking, waiting for the clouds to kind of jump out at you. And then one did jump out, but he wasn't where I was expecting him. He was from above. And I was like, whoa, this totally got me by surprise. So I really enjoyed Reincarnation, the clown maze, but what did everyone else think of it?
Trippy. Crazy. Like a walk in the park.
Not enough excitement.
I didn't get a hug, I'm upset.
Fantastic.
Great maze. Let's go on to the next one. So the next maze is 1873. Now that was the year that the circus burned down. Does it have any connection to that? I don't know. I'm going to go in and find out. Spooky. Now, I actually have RIP tickets, which allows me to bypass the queues, but I thought I'd go and test out the queues to see what they're like. And then we can see that the actors actually come in and terrorize the queue line. It makes it really interactive. It's really interesting and scary, especially when you're waiting to get into a maze. Good job. Well, she's terrified. I'm going to show you the clip that I managed to catch. Check this out. Oh my god.
Oh my god! I didn't even look at it. Oh my god.
Got some footage of you getting scared. Can you tell us what was going through your mind?
I need to toilet.
So I've just done 1873. It was very interesting. It was almost like a time travel one. It started off with the TARDIS console, takes you back in time, and then you're walking the streets of old London, and there was like a dentist trying to pull your teeth out. There was a butcher shop, and then it kind of ended with you walking through a police box. It's a bit of a Doctor Who theme there. It's very interesting though. I mean, it was good. Okay, let's go and do the next one.
The difference engine.
Okay, so I just got through the difference engine. It was a very interesting and different maze. It had these guys with masks on, white masks, and it looked like they were almost like mimes or automatons, and they were kind of like guiding you through, but you had two choices, going one way or another, and you go through, and there was like some crazy things were going on. Once you get past all of that, you get to a section where it was just about trying to get through the dark, and you couldn't see anything at all. It was completely dark, but then a guy would appear with a torch at moments just scare you. And once you get through that, there was this section that really was scary, and it was full of smoke, just a room full of smoke, so you couldn't see anything. You could see the smoke, but you couldn't see anything through it, and you're just expecting something to jump out at you. It was amazing. I managed to get through that. So that's the difference engine. So I've got one more maze to do. I'm going to go and do that now. Let's go. It's time for my last maze. Let's bring on the freaks. Okay, I just came out of the freak show. It was an amazing maze. It was outdoor, through a cornfield, and you had to go through, and there was like a lot of circus shops that were kind of stopping you and like showing you some crazy things, and you carried on going, and you had to go through the cornfield in the darkness. And then you come across like walls of hay, and you had to go through them, and there was these guys jumping out of you, and then it turned into like werewolves, and you had to just get through the whole thing. It was amazing. Here are the reactions of some other people who went through the freak show.
It was good. It was scary though.
Yeah? And what do you think of the freak show?
there were loads of people that like jumped out at you and stuff.
Yeah. That tends to happen in these kind of things.
They touched you though. They trapped you with a hand so you couldn't get past.
Yeah.
Yeah? Were you inappropriately touched?
Yeah.
He's not denying it. So I completed all the mazes, started with Barnageddon, a very interesting maze. It's basically a barn, you go through it, lots of people are kind of like jumping out at you, someone got stuck in there, which was really interesting. Then we went on to Reincarnation, which was real cool. It was like a fun house, lots of crazy gravity effects and optical illusions. It was really fun, I really enjoyed that. Then went on to 1873, which was like a time traveling one. It was like a Doctor Who thing going through. You got dentists and butchers and stuff chasing after you. Did the difference engine, which is like about mimes, and then lots of other kind of like sensory deprivation effects, which is really great. And then finished off with the maze, which was called the Freak Show, which was amazing. It was really great, really fun. And what's really interesting is that York Maze's iconic character is the clown. So check this out. Well, that's the end of York Maze. See you later, bye! Come to Hallowscream, you're going to love it!